Tony, you were not thrilled with the defense in Tallahassee, but it did not end up costing you the win. What were the issues, the main issues at that end of the court tonight?
Yeah, well, first, Pitt's playing really good basketball. They're a hard guard, so credit to them how they've played. They were prepared. They were tough. They were physical. I thought we really had a hard time handling their ball screens. Sometimes they can ball screen and separate with shooters. Everybody's tried to play them different ways because they put a little pressure on you. Sometimes they roll, sometimes they don't set it. They have very good action with spacing and the right kind of personnel, and their guards are very clever, all of them, to touch the paint and make plays with good spacing. We didn't do a good job defending the ball screens, and we probably gave up 4 or 5 unforced errors in the first half that gave them threes, and you can't do that against an offensive team like that. Even had a harder time containing the dribble, and then when you look at the offensive rebounds, at times we unplugged. It takes a real sound, tough-minded effort defensively from start to finish against a team like this that's playing this well and has that kind of attack. Again, Florida State, we kind of won more with our offense. In this game, our offense wasn't enough. We got some good shots, but also took some ill-advised shots at times. But, again, we just got to learn from it, grow from it, and credit to Pitt for how they played.
Tony, obviously, their three-point shots were the difference, but there was a stretch when Reese picked up his third foul. He had to come out. They went on that little run. It felt like that's maybe where they kind of got enough separation. How big was that moment?
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, obviously, Reese did play 33 minutes, but that stretch, I don't know what they separated the score to, but we were playing. We kind of were, when we got it going, we were sort of exchanging baskets with them. We couldn't come up with a tough stop. And when we'd have a good play, there was either an offensive rebound or we just had a breakdown. But they had us, guessing. They really did, and that's a tough feeling. And you're almost, when you're hoping they're missing and you're not making them earn as much, that's tough. Now, they did hit some tough shots. And, again, 14 to 32 from 3, that's a lot of points from 3, but they shoot an average of 26 a game. But, yeah, you just needed to stay attached. And once they hit some shots, felt like at the end we quit a little bit, just like we got discouraged, and we got to learn from that, whether we took a quick shot. When I say quit, I don't mean it just like we didn't stick to what we needed to do, and then it can separate quick.
Tony, you got the 8-game winning streak and the 23-game home winning streak that end. But how much did the team grow during that you can lean on between now and Saturday to kind of rebuild their confidence and get them back where they need to be?
I hope so, but as I've said, even when we were in this stretch or winning games, you always begin again. Every game, every practice, you start over and say, all right, are we willing to lay it on the line and be as tough-minded as we can? You don't want success to soften you. You don't want losing to discourage you. But you can never assume it's just going to be there because we're rolling. There's a few nice things we did in this game and had a rhythm and all that, but they are tough defensively too. They're physical, and they pride themselves on that end as well. And I think they're really connected. They're kind of like we were. Those were two teams playing good basketball coming into this game, and you could see it there already. But yeah, we'll look at the film, and that'll show us stuff. And we got another team similar in some ways in Wake Forest coming in, and the league is good. It really is.
Tony, what was the plan up against, especially countering Bub Carrington and Jalen Lowe, the freshman guards, and what they do on offense, and how did you see them react to how you guys plan to take them on?
Yeah, again, because a lot of times they'll use ball screens with space, and so you're worried with Graham, 25, he can screen and separate and shoot the 3, and of course Hinson can as well. So that puts a little pressure there. But those guys, if you don't do the job, they're looking to attack. So it's kind of they got both the guards to attack off the ball screen and make some plays, and then some of those guys that really separate and shoot. And then they started mixing and faking a screen, setting it. And it was just to make them earn. And I thought at times we did. And if they hit the tough shot, so be it. But then when we broke down, they made us pay. And then they made us pay on the offensive glass too.
Tony, just want to get your analysis on Blake Hinson, not just tonight, but just what he's meant to this team this season. from your perspective?
Yeah, hard matchup, tough matchup. We had a hard time. You know, you just, he doesn't need much room. We know he shoots 8 threes a game, makes, you know, a good clip of them for sure. But he's more than just a shooter. He's physical. He's got fakes. One time we went and we were undisciplined in our post trap because we switched to separate, and he just split. Saw him do that to many teams. Split it, drew fouls, and you know, he's you know, that we couldn't handle him tonight.
Along those lines, Tony, with Hinson, were those breakdowns when he got loose on underneath out of bounds plays for threes?
We ran into some screens and just tried to stay attached and didn't do a good job. And maybe 1 or 2 of those we might have lost. I don't know if we lost vision, but a couple times he just rose up and we got kind of stuck on a screen, which you can't do. You got to be down low and ready and kind of lower the shoulder and get around those screens, because if you get clipped, all he needs is a half a second, like when IMAX shooting it well with those quick release. That's all they need is a little window, and it'll be up.
Tony, 9 for 13 from the free throw line. It seems like all year that there have been some points left there. What do you see in practice at this point? Is there anything you do to change that, or you just have to hope they go down?
Yeah, no, I mean, we shoot a lot of them. We try to put them in pressure spots and get a lot of reps, and guys get them on their own, and that's important. And I think the end of the first half was that was a tough way also to end, you know, when you talk about some of those breakdowns there that we've got to grow from. But free throws, yeah, you're going to be in games that are going to be tight, and you're going to need those. I don't know how many front ends. Did we miss a couple front ends, or was it just but that hasn't been a strong suit of ours, and we're going to need to step up and knock them down if we want to, you know, keep going.
Thanks.
Yep.